So it's basically, all these fun activities, props, we start from 1.8. What are we trying to teach the kids? These are the kind of equipments that the kids play with. Everything's child friendly. You can do it indoors, you can do it outdoors, you can fold it, mold it. Kids does not get hurt. These are the kind of report cards. The color may vary when you get the report card, but every kid next month will be assessed on early movers, whoever's at nursery to grade 2. So our aim here in giving a report card for any sport is not to tell the parent that, hey, your kid has got 20 out of 40 and he has failed, or he needs improvement, but to tell the kid that where is your kid in sport currently and how is he or she going to progress going forward. Keep moving. Okay, athletic foundation. So this is also eligible, for your kids for the older segment. I'll ask you all some questions. I want to hear some names, okay? Randomly, just scream out. What sports do you all like playing or currently play? Parents, scream some names of sports. Okay, go on. Football, basketball, swimming, taekwondo, any sports. Skating, okay? Come on, parents, be active. Huh? I can't hear you, ma'am. Badminton, very good. This side, parents, ma'am, you? Any sport? Badminton. Okay, so you take any sport, you take cricket, football, basketball, swimming, taekwondo, badminton. What's common in all these sports is you need to know how to run, throw, and jump. So if you can run, throw, and jump, that's the foundation of being a good athlete. So as the slide says, you take any sport. This is what the core is. So our athletic foundation program from grade 3 onwards, that's the physical education program. We've kept athletics at the core and introduction of football skills, basketball skills, cricket skills. So everything is age grade progressive. Like, how in school we learned, 1 to 5 ka table, then we moved on to 6 to 10 table. Same way as sport is also age grade progressive. This is the equipment that we use for older kids. That was fun equipment for the younger kids. This is outdoor equipment. Even athletic will have report cards. Keep going. Now this is the Shanti Asiatic Sports Studio time. Keep going. Again, structured way of delivery. So now when you get the report cards for every different sport, be it taekwondo, be it football, be it cricket, every kid, the sport that your kid has choice, will be getting this report card. So you will get an indicator where your kid is compared to others in the class. So what is your kid's score? What did other kids score? So you get an indicator. Okay, how is the kid progressing? In addition to this, last month we also conducted an activity called Focus. So Focus is nothing but fitness of the children using science. This is a special program that we've developed. It's, we have an in-house sports scientist on board who's designed this program. So go next. So every kid, along with the regular sport assessment, will also be getting this Focus report card during the PTM, where we have assessed the kid on what is the kid's body composition analysis, what is the kid's heart rate, and what is the cardiovascular endurance. So when you get this report, the team who's over here, you see my colleague over there, Bhargav, he'll also be interacting with you all. He will explain to you sitting, during the PTM that, what do all these parameters mean. So Karishma, she had come, this was the Focus, kids underwent Focus, and it was like a outdoor fun activity. Along with that, in the last 45 days, we've also sent different technical experts. Like we had Andrew McGarry, who came into Shanti Asiatic. He's an English cricketer. He came down to India and he spent a day with the kids here for cricket. Then we also had Balpreet. He's, nowadays ISL for football, Indian Soccer League is, a big thing. He's a player for the team. He was here with the kids interacting. And gradually there'll be, taekwondo experts and different players coming in. So this is about Koo Sports. Thank you very much, parents. And you all have done the perfect choice by getting your kids here. It's very easy to convince the management to do new things and they're doing it. So I thank you, sir, and sir, for it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for the presentation. Sports become a means of education when it becomes everyone's favorite leisure. Now I would like to call on the dais Mrs. Arpita Mukherjee for the presentation.
A very good evening to all of you and a very warm welcome from Educom Solutions Limited. I really like the Ganpati Vandana over here, and now we're going to talk about the various initiatives that the school is planning on the field of Saraswati Ma. Before I start with the talk, I would want to show you what digital content looks like and how it is different from a regular teaching. So, for example, if there is a content on structure of neuron, so this is exactly how it is going to look like. So imagine this digitally rich content right inside the classroom with which your students would get to learn. So we've been always talking on learning needs to be immersive, learning needs to be collaborative, but have we ever thought, like in a classroom when there are like 40 to 50 students in a classroom in India, we all know the population of India is in increase compared to the world statistics, and in a classroom on an average there are like 40 to 50 classrooms. How is it possible for a teacher to give individual attention to every student, and how will the student learn? Because if you know, as an adult also, when we learn, we have a style of learning. Among all of us over here, there are like few, those who are like audio learners, those who will see and learn, visual learners, and then there are people or students, those who are going to do and learn. Those are like kinesthetic learners. So these are the various ways in which we actually imbibe learning. So if you see, even we also know in our own school days, I'll be giving you certain examples, like in our own school days, in our school, there were like students, those used to stand first, second, third, and those used to be, typical rankers. And we used to think, acha, bada hoke to ye kuch hone wala hai, engineer, doctor, in whichever field he goes, he's going to rise. Correct? But if you see the actual trend, it's not like it's only rankers are going to be positioned in a top rank. It's like how communicative your students are, or how better they would be able to apply knowledge that they have learned in their school days in reality. If you see the pattern, in our days, it was more of a rote learning fashion. We used to memorize and we used to write the paper. The actual learning used to not happen. But if you see 21st century, to get into top position, your student needs to be good communicators. They need to apply the knowledge that they have learned in their school days. So how is that going to happen? So if you see from the next academic year, the textbooks, there's going to be a little change in the textbook, wherein the entire methodology of the, teaching is going to change. It's going to change for good. It's going to change in a way wherein your child is going to learn in their own learning style. So there's going to be a scope for the audio learners, there's going to be a scope for a video learner, and there's going to be scope for the students, those who they do and learn, the kinesthetic learners. So if you typically see over here, this is going to be exactly how the learning is going to happen. It starts from the very basic level, wherein we're going to excite the learners, because once they are excited, they would have the interest and the thirst to learn more. Secondly, it goes to discover, do and document. So once they are excited, they discover new things and then assimilate, analyze and apply the ideas that they have learned during the course of discovery and apply. So that's how they construct altogether a very new thing. So that's going to be the entire way the teaching is going to happen. We've been always saying that if you see things around us, it's changing. Demonetization, things becoming cashless, more online transaction, more things getting online. It's not the way where it used to be early. If you see 5 years back, it was more of, we used to be in digital world where it's like computer. But now if you see, everything is more internet. If you buy a computer without an internet connection, the computer is of no use. That's how it has become. So, okay. Alright, so it's very important for us to have the learning which is going to be app-based learning, app-based medium of teaching, etc. So how is that going to happen? So all of you are using Facebook. I think all of you are familiar with Facebook. Yes? I can see everybody, almost everybody nodding your head. So which is very useful, which is very handy for us, and we know how to use it. The same way the communication is going to move. If you see the present communication system, wherein if you would want to know as a parent what are the various homework my child has in the school, we are clueless. We don't know I don't know what my child would have a homework today in the school. What if the entire way is changed, wherein you have an app? The various activity that is happening in the school, you get an update of which is coming on the app itself. So it's going to work in a way, the school and all the stakeholders of the school would have an app. Within the app, the teachers would give the homework, so that you also know that going back once your child is back home, what are the various things that they need to do. Because if you see today's students, if you ask your student, aaj homework kuch mila, and they would be busy typically in a mobile phone or in a computer game, and they will say, no, today there is no homework, there's no homework given by any of the teacher. Because they are also quite engrossed with the kind of games that they have been playing. We cannot help the scenario. But now this is going to be a change, wherein you would know in the app itself what are the various homework that you have, that your child has received from the school. And accordingly, even if you are not a subject expert, you would be able to ensure that the homework is actually done at home, and they are prepared in the class. So this is typically how the entire communication would happen. Even if the school is closed, even if there is any change in the events or any such thing that is being happening, the entire communication is going to be app based. Because there's no point having a notebook and a calendar where the teacher is writing and you are reading. We have to go with the technology. We have to go with the change which is happening around. Because school is a place where the entire education system happens. So we have to go with the movement. So there is another interesting thing. So I've spoken about the content, so I just showed you a content of Neuron. So there's going to be not only the teaching of the content, the assessment, the various activities. There's going to be completely activity-driven classroom that is going to happen inside the class. But there's another interesting thing that is about the health. We all know, we all do at some point of time, there is a health checkup that keeps happening. Health checkup for your child, and there's a proper report that comes, doctor writes a prescription. Most of the time we don't understand what is the prescription all about. It's all jargons which we are not able to decode. It's all encoded. It's like a code word between the doctor and the chemist. Most of the time when you see a doctor's prescription and we see a prescription, is most of the time it's like something which we are not able to comprehend, and it's something typically which is like a code between the doctor and the chemist. Over here things are a little changing. Over here, whenever there's an assessment of health happening, one, you have a complete health assessment wherein you would know the complete report of your child, and then at the same time there's going to be something called education, educating on health. Suppose we all know, suppose standing over here, I give you the next half an hour, I give you a talk on living healthy and staying healthy, or why gym is important. I'm sure nobody will be ready next day you're going to go and join a gym. It doesn't happen that way. So it's an education process. You need to first educate yourself on what health is all about, and then the implementation happens. So we all know sugar is dangerous for health, and we should not eat sugar, etc., etc. But it's actually, we can intake sugar in a right quantity. So these are the various things which is going to be a part of the health education. So health education, one, there's going to be a professional doctor coming to your school, and who's going to do the checkup of all the health, who would be doing various checkup of the child related to their deficiency, related to their to the ENT, etc. So the regular checkups that happen, and which is going to be a very proper OMR based report, and there's going to be a continuous education happening. Awareness of hepatitis, awareness of sugar, awareness of various deficiencies happening all across. So the curriculum that the health segment would be following is going to be aligned with World Health Organization health curriculum framework. So whatever various health months that they would celebrate, the same thing is something which is going to be happening in the school. So that's how the entire sync, the entire merger of education would happen. One, it's going to be more digitalized education. Whatever the teacher is teaching, it's not going to be passive, it's going to be more digital, wherein there's going to be an audio-visual system through which the teacher is going to teach. Second, there's going to be a health segment, there's going to be proper health education along with the various reports and checkup that's going to happen. And thirdly, the entire communication system, the communication is going to happen through a app. So through the app, the teachers would be communicating the various aspects, the various things. So if there's an annual program like today happening in the school, so the various photographs, like how in Facebook you have a wonderful gallery, you like, comment. So it's going to be similar to Facebook, but within the closed school group itself, wherein you can communicate, etc. So this is how the entire thing would happen. Also, along with it, if you would want to purchase books, so as of now, if you see the entire way how the education system works, any typical school is that you need to come to the school, purchase the book, go home, pay money. That's how it becomes. That's how it is. But if you see how the things around us has become more e-commerce business, more we buy things through Amazon, Flipkart, Snapdeal, etc. The same way the movement is also going to happen in the school, wherein going forward, even the purchase of book, you don't have to essentially come to the school and pay. It's going to be something you pay online and the book is delivered at your doorstep. So that's the entire change which is going to happen in the school, which you would get to see in the coming 1-2 years. So this year only itself, you would be getting to see a lot of change in terms of the curriculum, in terms of the communication system of the school, and the way the health education, the health aspect has been taken care of. I think they are being